Welcome back. We have Cindy Whitney here, who is going to talk to us about the Thrive Project. Hi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Nice to see you today.
You too. And, you know, I know that you're more on this side than this side, so now we get to interview you.
Yeah, right, I know.
Although we're not talking about your show, but we are talking about Thrive, which you're a big part of.
I am. I've been with Thrive for a couple of years, and it's really exciting because there's we worked on the Centenarian Project, and there's really exciting things that you get to do working with the Thrive Project, and we're here to talk about one of those things today.
Well, good. Well, it's a kindness project, right?
It is. We're rolling something out for the entire year of 2020, and it is a kindness project. It's an opportunity to encourage people to perform selfless acts, because kindness is basically doing something for someone with nothing expected in return.
Okay.
And so both people benefit, actually. You benefit by being a person generating this kind act, and of course, they will benefit from it as well in a lot of different ways, and we're going to talk about that.
That is really a nice thing, and that's going to be for the whole year. Now, you said that there's sort of a backstory here. How did this come about?
Well, there is. Well, it started with Joan Milliman, because she's kind of our resident researcher, and she came up with the idea of, you know, she's always looking for things that Thrive can do to be of benefit to our residents. And she thought, well, how about kindness or forgiveness or something like that? So we landed on kindness, and in researching kindness, we realized that right up the freeway from us is the city of Anaheim, known as the City of Kindness. So Eileen Paulin in our marketing and communications area knew someone there. So we went and researched their kindness project. And it goes back to 2002, when there was a young girl, Sofia Jajewski. She unfortunately was in a terrible car accident, and she lost her life. Her father was, you know, very distraught, and he was going through her personal belongings, and he came across all of these drawings that she had done of rainbows with these words about kindness on them. He was so moved by them, he copied them and he posted them all over the city of Anaheim. And they noticed an uptick in kind gestures and behaviors. Something was happening because of these posters that he put up. So, okay, that was 2002, but along the way, things started to happen in Anaheim. There was an uptick in crime. They had major crimes, you know, robberies, assaults, murders. They had, you know, just other types of normal crimes, you know, vandalism and things like that, gang violence, and bullying in schools and workplaces, and just a culture of incivility. And so one of the council members, Tom Tate, said, I remember those kindness posters, and I'm wondering if I ran on the platform of kindness, what would happen? Well, he won the election.
Oh, wow.
He won the election, and so he put out this whole program. He went, of course, and worked with people and said, how do we go about doing this? What are the areas of greatest need? Homelessness is an area of greatest need. Crime, of course. You know, working with people to, you know, instill these feelings of giving and, you know, understanding one another and connecting with one another. And before you knew it, it was about 1.5 years to 2 years later, bullying went down, test scores and homework assignments were done, and kids were getting along better in schools. Crime was reduced. Everybody, you know, emergency preparedness for somehow got strengthened because people were connecting with other people. They knew they were there, and when something happened, a fire happened, they were able to reach out to these people. There were so many benefits of having kindness. People's health got better. Their anxiety levels went down. Their blood pressure was reduced. Loneliness. You know, loneliness is a very bad thing because it can lead to depression if people you know, lose their independence and become lonely. So many benefits. So we invited him here. Tom Tate came and he spoke to us about a month ago. And told us the whole thing. He was so generous with his time. And so we said, we've got to do this because, of course, our community is different. We're not the city of Anaheim, but we have different needs here. How will it look here? So that's what we're working on.
Well, I would imagine now we had a psychologist on the other day who was talking about loneliness and depression, especially this time of year. So as a whole of our community, what would you say some of the general issues are when it comes to loneliness?
Well, I mean, people, when they begin to, as I say, they lose their independence, sometimes I talk about this and I say, there are a series of micro losses sometime when we age, and in this time of our lives. It's a wonderful time of life, but none of us is from here. So let's assume that we've lost the home we used to live in.
Right.
We're not working, so we lost the job we used to, not lose it, but we don't have it anymore. So our identity sometimes was linked with that. So we're losing a little bit of our identity. Maybe we've lost some of our finances. There's these little losses. Maybe you lost a little bit of your hearing. Maybe you lost a little bit of your mobility. Maybe, you see what I mean? There's all of these things that begin to change, and none of us has been this age before. So we're trying to deal with it. So there's the issues of struggling to find out what we can do, because that's what we're trying to focus on. What are the things I can still do and be good at and enjoy? And so there's this balance that we're always trying to achieve day to day.
Right, exactly. And then I had read an article actually this morning that was talking about how we should go a little easy on the people that are around us, because we don't know what they're going through, right, on a regular basis. Just all those things you just mentioned, plus maybe they lost a loved one, or they're struggling in a marriage, or whatever the case might be. You just don't know. So I think that's a great idea. Tell me about when and what are some of the things that you're looking for from the community? Well,
we're going to follow the Anaheim model, and we're going to reach out to the boards and other clubs and different groups and find out, is there an area of greater need? And we can sort of start there. But we're not going to wait for that. We're going to go out and we're going to have speakers. I'm going to do a class. I'm putting it together now. It's a workshop on reframing, because reframing is that looking at something differently, changing the content or the context of something so you feel differently about it. I'll give you a weird example of that, and one of them is, I have a crepe myrtle tree, and the first 2 years I lived in Laguna Woods, I hated that tree because it was the messiest darn tree I ever saw in my life, and dropped everything in my patio. Hate that tree. 8 months of the year is always dry. And then I said, stop that. You have this beautiful tree that in the spring, these little buds bloom and hearken the coming of spring. You have this pink blossoms that carpet your patio. In the fall, you have these golden yellow leaves. So it's like you have seasons because of that tree. And I started looking at this tree so differently, and I love that tree now. And even when there's nothing on it, the bark is beautiful. So taking something and turn it around and look at it in a positive way, you'll feel better about things. And the other thing is changing the way we speak to people. That's a way that you can generate kindness, is don't be mean-spirited. The first thing you say to someone or in talking to them, you shouldn't be angry or hostile. There's other ways to communicate things. So, we'll look at how do we reframe everything.
And when do you plan to have that class?
I'm finishing it up, so I would say probably won't be for a couple of months. But I just want to make sure, and I want to make sure there's interest in it, and maybe I'll get some input from people too, because I'd like to know what they'd like to have in the class. So, it's not just limited to human beings. We'll reach out to the cat and dog clubs and say, we can be kinder, because our animals are always kind to us.
Yes, that's right, unconditionally.
Unconditionally. So we should do that, we want to make sure that the social infrastructure of our community is healthy and sound, and we can do that by being kinder to each other. And we're going to have some things that we're going to promote. One of them is books. We have some books that we're recommending. I contacted the library, and they're going to see if they can get some books that they can recommend too. Books on compassion and books on.
That's cute. How full is your bucket?
And that's an interesting one.
A good one.
That's saying, associate with people, be around people that fill your bucket, that make you feel good, not people that dip into it and make you feel bad. So get your bucket full. And then we're going, because of the generosity of Village Television, we're going to have some wonderful films that are going to be on in the month of February, because February is Valentine's and all about love, and so these are movies about kindness, and Patch Adams and Snow White and Homeward Bound, Dead Man Walking, Amelie.
Oh, that's great.
And so we've got some really good films that will help remind people. There's a lot of different ways to be kind.
Right.
I mean, we can be kind to someone that we don't know, someone that we do know. We can schedule a kindness act. Take somebody to the John Wayne Airport. You can be really kind to them and take them to LAX.
That'd be really, really kind.
No, that's too much. But you can do those types of things, or just say hello to someone when you see them.
Right.
Just say hello and smile. It makes all the difference in the world.
It does, and even if I mean, these are all things we know as common sense. but
I know.
reminding
Yes.
us ourselves. There's another book called The Secret. That is a really good one too. That talks a lot about just knowing, how to behave, just like you're saying.
Yes,
so should be
yes.
good.
And
Wonderful.
Patience.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good one. All the way around.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Well, good.
Yes.
Well, did I miss anything?
No, I think just stay tuned for this. It's coming. We're going to be rolling it out. We'll be at events too. We'll be at the wellness events for sure.
All right.
We might even have it at some of the others. The Bonanza and maybe Woodstock. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to be kind. So so we'll be out there promoting it and give us your ideas.
Okay.
We want to know so that we can have fully involve everybody in this. And I'm interested to see the results. I really am. I think that we can make a healthier community as a result of this too.
I like it. Sounds great. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Okay.
And remember, when you are out and about, make sure you look at the glass half full instead of half empty. We'll be right back.